Okay, so our next inductee will be Boo Mason. Boo will be introduced by his longtime friend, Craig Branch. Craig Branch was a teaching pro here in Birmingham for years. He gave up his racket to do the Lord's work and is currently with the Search Ministry. So at this time, I'd like for Craig to come up and introduce Boo. And thank you for your patience.
I left a minute ago, so I was asked Ed to take my place, and he said he wouldn't do it. It is an honor to be here with y'all. As a matter of fact, when I was here as a tennis pro, I didn't even know the Hall of Fame existed for some reason, I guess. I never got close enough. But it's an honor to be here to introduce my friend Boo Mason to the Hall of Fame, induct him to the Hall of Fame. I left my glasses at home, part of my wife's, no comments. This is interesting. My first job here was here at Vestavia Country Club. I came back years later, and when I was here, that's when I became a Christian. And now, the third time back here, it's to welcome and encourage Boo Mason for what he's been doing many, many years here. I did a background check on Boo, because I always want to have the truth out there, and do his background check of his life and career, and it affirmed everything I saw or heard about Boo that I knew about him. And this is especially true of the endorsements he received from fellow pros, and I'm going to share some of the comments they made about Boo in a few minutes. There are three major categories or areas of Boo's life that signify him. And one is his long-time playing ability, his skills and success both in singles and in doubles as a player. Two, his development of tennis programs for juniors and adults inside and outside the country club settings. And three is the consistent respect and impact of Boo beyond just his tennis prowess, but also for his character, his encouragements, his high moral standards, his fairness, ethics, and honesty. I first met Boo when I was the new assistant pro here at Vestavia. And no, actually I got fired from that. I'll tell you that another story some other time, but it was really interesting. But I went to work with Joe Kirkendall at Mountain Brook Swim and Tennis, and Boo was there, and I guess Joe is he coaching the team? Yeah, Mountain Brook High School. And Joe assigned me to play and work on just playing and hitting with Boo, and I just said, he is really good, and he was. So anyway, that's when I first met Boo, when I was there at Mountain Brook Swim and Tennis. Let me get back to this. Yeah, there's when I had my resume out, and this is what I began to hear about him, and then I heard that his team won, Mountain Brook won the state championship. And Boo won, I think, the doubles of the state championship. And he then, after he graduated, he played tennis at the University of Alabama. I'm from Virginia. It was a real culture shock moving here. We didn't have football much in Virginia. But Alabama was Boo's choice, and he, after he graduated from there, he was a tennis coach at the University of Montebello. And that's quite an interesting change from being a player to being the coach that early in his life. But he got the request and authority of Montevallo's staff there. He then became the tennis director of Altadena Valley Country Club. He should have stayed with them because they've disappeared now. But while at Altadena, this is really phenomenal. No other tennis pro I've ever heard of has been through this. Boo, at Altadena Valley, he took on the leadership of Indian Springs High School, a private school here in town. He also, we had a graduate there, alumni. In addition to that, he was also tennis pro at Ingress? No, Joe Creek. And also, what was the other? Heatherwood, I'm sorry, Heatherwood. They are, can you imagine that? 3 country clubs, you're pro at the same time, and the high school. That says something about Boo. He just was really attached to this sport as a career and the people in it, things he was learning himself. He won a state championship there, and I remember playing with Boo. He started actually organized a 510 tennis team, and we played all in Alabama, and we won in Alabama, and then we went to Georgia. And those guys we played in Georgia were not 5.0. I need to turn them in still. Anyway, he was there. He became the tennis pro also when he left Altadena Valley of Hoover Country Club, Green Valley at the time. I was a pro there for about a year. That's when the Lord called me out into ministry. And I think we were the only tennis club that had a Bible study in the pro shop. I don't think that any other places I've ever heard of has done that. Boo continues to have those as well there at Hoover. Let me give let's see. Yeah, those 3 areas of Boo's life. I want you to hear what other pros and friends of Boo have observed of him over the many years. Donnie Ellis says, I have had the privilege of knowing Boo Mason for well over 30 years and can speak of his character, his integrity, his professionalism, his love of the game of tennis. I've watched him teach, watched him compete, watched him represent his profession, and watched him promote the sport, all with a passion of utmost character. To the extent of the Hall of Fame represents the best of advocacy, ambassadorship, and stewardship of Alabama tennis, Boo Mason personifies all of those characteristics and is a worthy candidate for admission. Why wasn't he in here earlier? You know, Boo, this is from Robbie Rowan, who says, Boo has been a great competitor both in college and after college. His ability to play, teach, and encourage the sport of tennis is a real gift he has been given. I know Boo best by the way he conducts himself in life, and that has always been instrumental to his success. A person with the qualities of great character, high morals, and a heart of always allow others to be first is a picture of someone who would like children, you would like your children to emulate. I've known a number of people that Boo coached juniors, and they grew up and moved on to, other parts of their life, and they have been they themselves have been consistently communicating this. This is from Charlie Ingram. I have been a doubles partner with Boo at the state, regional, and national levels. I've seen him in his daily work as the head professional of Green Valley, now Hoover Country Club. I have seen him in his role as a high school coach, which was Indian Springs, and I have talked with Boo about his work and his family enough to know that his character is light years ahead of the norm. As a doubles partner, Boo, who played at the University of Alabama, not only as a really great player, but his court demeanor, his personality were extremely positive, and his encouragement to me very helpful. That he's been a head professional in one club for as long as he has, which is Hoover, for 26 years. That's phenomenal. As people know around tennis, to be at a club that long, especially like I was thinking compared to my first time at this studio. Anyone who has seen him at work would attest to his rapport and with his club members, and I know from personal experience that Boo is concerned about the development of younger players. As not only from an athletic standpoint, but also from a personal character perspective. And I know from personal experience that Boo's faith and his support and love for his family is beyond reproach. He ends up by saying, on the other hand, I think Boo has more than given back his fair share to tennis, and I certainly believe he is an excellent representative to what Alabama tennis should be. So I think I wanted to share those things with you. And part of the affirmation of those things, observations that worked out in real life. Boo was, like I said, tennis pro at 3 clubs and an important school, a good school, in the same time for a number of years. He is now, of course, again at Hoover Country Club for 20-some years. He's a member of the USPTA for 26 years, with an elite pro rating. Played for Alabama Senior Cup team, and he's also now the captain of the Senior Cup team. He's been on the team for 4 years now. He coached Indian Springs, like we mentioned. He is member of the USTA 4.5 championship team from 2005 through 2017. Head pro administrator, named head pro administrator of the North Alabama Competitive Training Center. He hosted Wayne Bryan Doubles Clinic during the Davis Cup. Hosted portion of the USTA Southern Championships, the largest tennis tournament in the country. And Boo has been teaching tennis for over 40 years. Again, this is important. I remember I'm kind of entrepreneurial as well, and we started developing Briarwood. I had a student at Briarwood School, and we started tennis tournaments there at the church. They had like thousands of members, and so we had tennis tournaments going on, and my daughter started playing tennis with a team and was on the tennis team. So I played, and Boo came over and helped, and I think you still have an ongoing relationship with Briarwood. And so again, I talked to many students, and all of them had the same thing to say about how great a tutor he was. How he came alongside, and how gracious he was to them, and helped them think about things beyond just tennis in the game of life as well. And we're all very moved by that. So again, I thank you. I don't know what the time is, but I thank you for being part of welcoming Boo into the Alabama Tennis Hall of Fame.
I really wanted to go first. my record compared to Eddie Jackson makes me look like I won the Miss Congeniality Award. What an honor to be here with Greg and Eddie and just you people here. It's just so exciting. And there's too many people to thank. I want to first of all thank my wife, my lovely bride, who, when we first got married, I was a tennis pro, and she wanted to know what I was going to do when I grew up. And much to her chagrin, that didn't occur. Anyway, so she decided to stick it out with me, but she has been a constant source of spiritual and emotional strength, and without her wisdom and guidance, I certainly wouldn't have gotten this far, if not anywhere at all. I kind of like Craig Branch, but she's my best friend. This honor goes half with her, just for all that she's done for me. And then I got to thank my mom. I started when I was 8. She got me started. We were charter members of Mount Swimming Tennis Club, and she started out to be my coach. We started playing together, and she was kind of helping me, and then she became my adversary as she'd get out and we'd play, and when I could beat my mom, I just said, "Oh." And then she became my biggest fan. Well, we had my partner. We played some mixed double stuff together and won. We were very successful. And then she became my biggest fan because Mom was the one who took time to take us to tournaments and drive all over the state. And she hated to drive on the highway. And it was just a labor of love from her standpoint. And she was, in this day and age, you people who are tennis pros, there's nothing worse than a bad tennis mom. And she was the greatest. She could have given a seminar. She was strict on my behavior. Her encouragement was exceptional. She always chose to be the mom, and so I never doubted her love for me. But she was just great, and so I owe all this to her as well. She still thinks I'm good today. That's the most important thing. But it does worry me. She didn't really begin to start taking lessons from me until after she was in her 70s, so I'm a little worried what that says about me. Second of all, I guess the Hoover Country Club, who is led by Sheriff of Hoover, Barbara, has allowed me to be employed there and to be a tennis ambassador there and throughout the state. So I appreciate that they're letting me stay on there and hang out. Then I thank Greg Van Horn and Indian Spring School, who has let me come to my passion, which is high school tennis. Just continue to work with kids there, and what a joy that is. For Grant and Eddie and all the members of the Hall of Fame, the Alabama Tennis Foundation. I feel like I'm a product of the Alabama Tennis Association. The Tennis Association, I think, started in 1959, and I joined in 1963 as a player, and have been involved with the Alabama Tennis Association all that time, as a player, as a coach, as a volunteer, I even paid me occasionally on some things, so I'm what you get. I'm not ready to shut the thing down now, but I'm pretty much where we've gone with this. My wife has been involved, and so I'm a lifelong member of the Alabama Tennis Association, all that they do, and really believe, and like Eddie had said, and it's our job to carry that on. It's just so exciting. So from here, there's just so many people out in the audience. I wish I could thank, doubles partners and encouragers, league tennis, a team that's got kind of revived me, fell back in love with tennis all of a sudden. I got my kids playing again. That's kind of exciting. So all I can say is this is truly an honor that I will always cherish, and just given by the people who I just most admire. So thank you all so much.
You heard Craig mention that Boo is captain of the Senior Cup. Boo is captain of the men's team that goes to the Senior Cup. I don't know how familiar you all are with Senior Cup, but it's a competition between the 9 states of the Southern section. And of course, Boo, this means now that you're a captain for life.